share screen. Share. Here it is here. All right. Am I good? Am I up?
Yes.
Okay. All right, guys, this is Herodium. If you're new to the channel and you don't know what we're talking about here, this is a hill that is supposed to be a hilltop fortress, but the whole hill is the fortress. And it was forgotten about for quite some time until somebody went up here and started poking around and realized, oh, this whole thing's a structure. It's not just some big hill that happens to look like a volcano, by the way.
Yeah.
Hold on. I'm going to kill this music. All right, here we go.
I still don't hear it.
Oh, I probably never had volume on it anyway. Okay, guys, this is Herodium. Now, let's just stop it here and take a look at it. Does this not look very Vesuvius looking? Vesuvius in Italy. Yeah. Now, everything you see running down the side here, flat top, and then running down the side here, all of this is building. There was not a natural hill here that they came along and built into and onto and stuff. The whole thing is man-made. And look, it says between 23 and 15 BCE is supposedly the time frame. Okay, give me a break. Wait, you see this thing? Okay, let's pause it right here. Look at that. Does that not? I have things in my area that look just like this. I've climbed up one of them, by the way. Yeah. And this is very volcano looking. When we covered volcano architecture, remember that, Shepu?
Yes.
That's a good one.
You got so much stuff to upload on your channel. I still got many videos live that we did that I don't have on my channel because I didn't upload any one this week. Probably tomorrow I'll put a new one.
Yeah, we got to do the volcano architecture one. That was really good.
Yeah. I'm probably still like 20 shows behind on my channel. So
I'm not bragging, but we do put out some good shows. Okay, right here. Who's carving melted steps? Did you see the melted steps right here? Let's go back. Let me go back a little. Sorry. Oh, it's so quick. Let me pause it when it comes up. Again, melted steps. A couple of them look okay. The rest look melted, kind of wore out.
Yeah. So this is the inside of the hill that we just saw. Like, what's it called again? Erodium.
Yep. Look at this, guys. This whole thing is a building. The whole thing. I know it's hard to comprehend, but they even admit it. This whole thing is a building. Okay? Just say it.
Yeah, I'll show pictures that before they dug the side of it, they didn't know. Once they start digging, they found like this, an amphitheater at the bottom, some temples, what they call temples, everything. And they call this a royal passageway. Probably there was a big waterfall for the water coming from the bottom down this.
Oh, yeah.
At one point. It looks to me like it would be. Because they all need water,
Exactly, yeah.
And my new theory of these giant water towers before the melt, we're holding all the fresh water for everyone.
The whole thing's the building.
Yep.
Oh, what was that coming up next? The mystery of the millennial reign? Hold on. Alpha Talks. Let's. I'm just gonna have to play.
I think we've seen it, this one already.
Yeah, but this is a really good one. It's 16 minutes long. You know what? I'll just drop it in the chat for anybody who hasn't seen it because we got to keep moving along here. But that is a really good one.
Yeah.
Right, here we go.
So I think what we're gonna do next, just look at some pictures.
Yeah, I'm always down for pictures.
of places, melted aqueduct and stuff like this.
I love the melted aqueducts. Hey, what's up, Annette? Are you late? Have you been here?
Who? Annette? Oh, I think
Yeah,
she's late.
She's late. All right, girl. You're gonna have to take notes. Get some notes from Melanie and Juan. You're gonna stay after class. You're 2 hours and 39 minutes late, girl.
Yeah. All right. So Mount Arbel, we've already seen it. So we'll start with this one. Le Destroy out of altitude.
I'll take your word for it.
Yeah, it's a French word. I don't know why, but
and this is in Israel.
Yes. And it's called the Destroy. Look,
look at that.
There's some remains of the
it looks
place.
Like part of a star fort, even maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, probably at one point. But you will see the remains that are there are really like melted blocks. Look at this. Because there's a castle that I was showing.
Oh yeah.
This one here.
Right.
You can see it at in the background here. But this is on the coast.
Wow.
And you can see the remains of melt. Now, you would think that it's only a natural rock formation, but...
Yep, but we know better now.
Yeah, if you look closely, you will find like blocks between all the space everywhere. And things like this. They say it's a megalith block carved out, but actually it was one pieces of brick like this, but now it looks like it's a full one, but it wasn't, because this event fuses all of these because all of these bricks have all the a covering on top of it, like stucco, and the heat just makes it fuse all together. And you can see that it goes really down.
Yeah, I mean, they didn't carve that or build that like that. It looks like some coral rock from underwater or something.
Yeah, what they call coral, like this. But look, again, what we see everywhere in Petra. This is the castle that's left. What remains of it. I think I've got like a close up. Yeah. Now people just put trash in there, but you can clearly see all this.
Okay, yeah, look at that. These are not sedimentary layers. These are brick layers. Yeah. Looks exactly like China Wall, where they scuba dived in Hawaii. That China Wall as well.
Yeah. Oh, this is just an etching, but you can clearly see these one. Yeah, but these one, I don't know when they were built. They were like sandbags. That looks like bricks now. But they say it was made by the Nazis. Like here, look, these are sandbags, but now look like rocks.
Wow.
It's not that old, because they say they were bunkers made not so long ago. But I don't.
But what's not so long ago? 250 years?
Yeah, I don't know. But in this one, you can clearly see here, like brick line, and I don't know.
Brick up there.
This red here, yeah.
And all these little windows.
Yeah. They would call that pigeon niches. I don't know.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Pigeon niches.
Like, who would put like block if this was carved out of the mountain? Again, But once you see it, you can see it's all the same thing. But you can
Wow.
clearly see that this just melted in one piece now, but was all blocks.
Look, those diagonal holes going up. Look, it could have held stairs there or something, like wood,
Yes.
you know,
Yes.
something.
Yeah. They will tell you that it was wood. They would put like places of wood to hold up, but I'm not sure about that. But all of this coral, if it was underwater,
Yes.
I have like other like this one's pretty good.
Yeah, because you can see the transition even.
Yeah. You can see that all these brick blocks, rocks. You can see they look like coral, but only the surface here. All of this was the same. And then the look of the place, what's left of it, And it's a big complex, all one building.
Yeah, melted as fuck.
Yeah.
Look at this.
You can clearly see inside of it.
Look at that melt right there.
Yeah.
Wow.
You can. Oh shit.
Wow, that's crazy melt. That's a messy melt right there. And look at the edge. It looks like a star fort.
Yeah, right here you can see it. Like pointed
So
star
this
right
part
here.
of the building here in the center has melted away and down and out.
Yeah.
The rest of this building and pockets of survival over here.
Yeah. Just like ice cream in a bowl.
That's right. Wow, that's a good one.
You can clearly see the melt go, and here another part of the building.
And what can't we see underwater? You know what I mean? I mean, how much more is there underwater? We've covered underwater melt plenty of times.
Yeah. Top part of the place. Again. So this was it for this Altit fortress. But let's go to this juice here, this melted aqueduct.
All right.
That is called, what is it called? Caesarea. They attribute it to the Romans again.
But this is in Israel, right? Or no?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
Yes, all of this that I got in the show is in Israel.
I love melted aqueducts. Who's building melted aqueducts? Anybody? No?
But we all know that aqueducts were all built with bricks, and blocks.
Great.
But look here, this is the top part, but look at the bottom one.
Yeah, see that they'll say they're sedimentary layers, but they're the brick layers. And look at the rock on top of these blocks. They're fused together. You can see little bricklets in there.
Yeah, you can still see the red into these old here, what they call like coral rock.
Yes.
How they
rock,
say
all that stuff, or shale rock. They'll call it shale rock.
Yeah.
All this, they have all these names. This is what geology was meant for, to name all this stuff to throw us off. It's just melted fucking brick.
Yeah, you can clearly see on this one that it is melted bricks, because you can
and
see
that one right there, that top
there.
rock, that big top rock is melted into the other one right next to it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Because this, if you separate in two, it's two layers of this, but now it's one, just all fused together.
The brick goes block. That's right.
Yeah. Here
there's different levels and stages to this heat damage, guys.
Yeah.
You want to see different levels of heat damage? Look at Pompeii.
Yeah.
Volcanic ash did not do that to that city. All right, here we go.
This aqueduct, you know how big they are usually, but look at this. All the blocks just started to change form.
How does this this whole thing change its formation, but over in the arch it retains its block form there perfectly. But right next to it, you think they put in some kind of different rock that melted away over here on its own? I mean, come on. I mean, this is just, they did not make it this way originally. It was hit by an extreme heat event.
Yeah, this is the same one, but now look at the arch where it is.
Wow.
The top part is just...
When we talk about the extreme heat and the different levels of heat damage, the bottom part or sometimes the top part could get more heat than the lower part or the above part of it, and it'll look like one large piece melted into each other, one big block. Look at that, Shepu. That is amazing. Okay, right there. You got to make it make sense, guys. And the only thing that makes sense is extreme heat did this at some point.
Yeah, but if I go up, look at these
terracotta.
What's that? Yeah, broken part, but inside of it, it's all terracotta.
And what's terracotta mean? Cooked earth.
Yeah.
Right, Lulu? She's sitting on the back of my chair.
See, like these one.
They look like little portico windows.
Yeah, but they were all the piping for the...
Oh, it's the piping. I got you. So it ran through there, and that's the part that's not broken half. Okay.
Yeah.
But this melted arch right here, we don't usually see arches melted. Okay, this is extreme heat. It's drippy right there.
Oh yeah.
And then it solidified mid-melt and hardened and stayed that way. And this is what we see. This is the end product of the extreme heat event. We call it X factor, God's judgment. And I think this was in the very recent past, guys, at least 250 years ago, in my opinion, maybe 300.
Yeah, this one is crazy. You can really see like the flowing here. It started from here and flowed down. What we would call them stalactite.
Mm-hmm.
Again, same part of this aqueduct.
Yeah, let's pause it right here because we have melted brick wall flowing right into what they say are sedimentary layers. These are not sedimentary layers. What these are more cooked out bricks. And you can see the bricklets there, a little tiny bricklets laying around everywhere embedded within this supposed sedimentary layers that transitions right into what looks like janky rock, but it was actually red brick.
Yeah.
Before the extreme heat event.
Yeah. All this sand was part of this.
That's right. Now, this is where geologists and archaeologists come and slam right into each other, okay? And then they're like, oh, what are you doing here? And they're like, oh, well, what are you doing here? Well, I got a wall here from ancient times. Oh, I have millions of years of sedimentary layers right here.
Yeah,
I mean, come on.
That's why when you say the meltology glues all of things together, this is the perfect example.
Exactly, dude. Without meltology, we would still be buying this ridiculous narrative of geology and archaeology, as far as I'm concerned. And, our eyes have been opened to this new level of truth, and it's undeniable. So we have to question everything.
Yes. And this is the end part of the end part where it ends for us. We continued at one point.
The rest of it go.
Yeah. Same aqueduct, but it didn't get heat.
It could have been much higher. This ground level is all ground out and turned to sand now. So I mean, this thing could have been even up higher. Remember, we used to see in Rome the 3 and 4 level aqueducts.
Yes, there's more than 3 levels in some places. Crazy.
Yeah, I mean that's insane.
Yeah, you can clearly see they didn't cut out coral to make these. They were all bricks. Because I've got like another part.
And look, go back a picture. I'm sorry. Please go back a picture. It looks like it had plaster over the whole thing too.
Oh yeah, yes.
It's original coating. A lot of these brick structures,
all of them,
including the star forts, guys. And we've covered this. You can find this old whitewash coating over the brick, and it's an insulator because brick stores energy, and this is why they had the white cities and all this stuff.
Yeah, that's the story of the pyramids. That thieves just came and stole all the covering.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, they said that there were white
yeah,
coatings over them, and they
yeah.
glistened in the sun or something.
But I don't know how they could have done it, because when I showed the pictures of the pyramids, it's all fused together.
Yeah, I think that whatever coating was on it just melted away. That's what we're seeing at the base of the pyramid, spread out from it. You look at the floor of the
Oh
outside of
yeah,
the pyramids; they are melted as fuck.
yeah. So I don't know what this column's doing there, but
Well, if it has some kind of technical purpose and not just like what we look at the
yeah,
columns with a statue on it or something like it. This could be like a lingam stone, what they call in India, but it's
yeah,
actually it's almost like a mini DJed column right there. There could have been water flowing around it. If this is an aqueduct, this will contribute to the electrical charge
yeah.
of what they're doing with this grid system.
Could purify with the
Exactly.
electrolysis. Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, it's a perfect example of these pipes, these old pipes, terracotta pipes going through it. But look at the melt of this
This place
arch
was
here.
glorious. It was a millennial reign, and I think all this stuff is from that time period. I mean, I could be wrong about that, but the level of buildings and structures that were just take this aqueduct for
Yeah,
instance. I mean,
because they attribute all these aqueducts to the Romans,
yeah,
and we
and
know.
what they'll do is how muffed up looking it is. They'll say it's old. That's how the more muffed up it is, the more older it is.
Yes.
But actually, this is all from the same time period, in my opinion. It's just this got hit harder. But because it looks so janky and muffed up, they'll say it's ancient, but it's not. Wow,
Yeah.
look at that.
Yeah.
That's just one big messy melt.
Yeah, you can see that there were more than one channel of water going through
Oh,
this,
yeah. Wow.
and you see it
And it
continue.
probably had a whole cover over it, too. It was probably all nice and everything. And, we're seeing the innards of it now because it's melted and muffed up.
Yeah. Same thing. This energon generator, I guess.
Look at the
Pure-
ceiling now. Look at it. Look at how melted it is. Wow.
you can still see one block here, like the
Yeah.
keystone block in the middle of the arch, but the rest is just undiscernible from a rock wall carved in blocks. Again, this is part of the same aqueduct I just showed. You can see it goes really far.
Really far. Yeah, really, really far. Wow.
Let's see.
Look at all that janky rock up there, okay? They would not build this thing with all this janky, crazy rock up top.
Yeah.
It was all brick at one time. This is all heat damage.
This is the same vicinity of the aqueduct. The aqueduct, it like behind here.
This looks like a brick beach.
Yeah.
Look at this. The building just melted off into the water part, or the water came in later. I have a theory because I think this last flood maybe had something to do with the fail-safe system, like a sprinkler system. If the extreme heat event is coming up from the bottom, heat rises. We are under a dome. That dome could possibly be some ice crystalline structure of some sort. And when the heat rises and hits it for a period of time, it will shed and come down as rain, maybe even 40 days of rain. Who knows? But
Yeah.
it would be a sprinkler system to cool all this stuff down and solidify everything. It's what seems look like mid melt, even like
Yeah.
within the process of melting, it hardened, it solidified.
Yes. Not only that, also the heat process creates condensation, and a lot of rain, and also what I think that there were like these giant water towers. When they melted, they released all the fresh water everywhere also.
That could be.
So multiple factors.
We have to theorize about and brainstorm this out, and because they're not going to tell us, and we'll just never really know.
Look what we do with these old world. Look at how destroyed it is. How can you destroy something like this. Look how thick it is.
Wow. Yeah, look, it's thick with brick. Just like we've seen down in the slate mines where we show you they say they're slate mines, but it looks like they built a whole city down there. And the walls are thick with brick that turn to slate.
Yeah. And these type of bricks, Kairos just showed us in the walls in California. They did the same effect.
And look, it's still kind of, you can see the indentation of where it was through the mortar lines.
Yeah.
We saw that same thing up at Mount Chiha on the side slab of that rock that Jeremy had showed. We showed pictures of it. Yes. Again, you can still see the mortar in here as well in this old wall.
Yeah. Yes. And you can see here that these bricks got squished by the weight of the building when it was like softened by the frequency change, not fire heat, but like a frequency, like electrical.
Yeah.
Because most people, when we call melt, it's involved like fire and heat, but no.
Now we're talking about next level heat that you can't even imagine, well over 10,000 degrees in my opinion.
Yeah.
Bricks melt at what? I forget what it was, 3,000 degrees or something.
Yeah. All right, another section.
I mean, before meltology came along, nobody even thought bricks could even melt. And when we did start talking about it, we got a lot of shit for it. Then people thinking we're saying we're crazy, but yet we kept showing proof. More and more proof. Look at all this proof right here.
Yeah, Fort Zerdev is a bit the best example of this.
Yep, and I have that. I'm going to get it ready because I have it on my wall, and I definitely want to show people who are new and here for the first time.
You remember, Jen, when I showed like when you put mercury on aluminum?
Yeah.
When you drop it creates like these type of structures going up. This is what reminds me of this. Maybe there was a chemical reaction when the melt came. That's why it looks like this.
Right. Yeah. Okay. Can we stay on this picture and let me screen share real quick?
Yes.
Since we just talked about bricks melting, and there's probably some new people here, who probably never really seen what melted brick looks like. And they're having a little hard time wrapping their head around all this. Okay, so this is a fort in Russia. It's out in the middle of bumfuck nowhere, okay? Yeah. It's like on an island in the middle of nowhere in some ice tundra. So they can put whatever narrative they want on this. In my opinion, this went through the X Factor event. The narrative that they have on this fort is that it had a napalm-like substance. They don't say it's napalm. They say it was a napalm-like substance, which gets to extreme heat, I think around 6,000, 7,000 degrees or something. And it accidentally went off in here, and this fire was raging in here of this napalm-like substance and melted everything. Again, can bricks melt? Yes, they can. This fort is made of brick, 100% top to bottom made of brick. Everything you see here on the ceiling was brick. As you can see, it looks like what we call stalactites today. But even in their melted state, melting and dripping down off the ceiling, you could still make out the straight brick lines between each layer all the way down the wall coming down here. We call these, or geologists would call these, if we weren't in this fort, sedimentary layers. But here we know we're in a fort. Again, you can see the bricks kind of running down the wall here, melting out of their spots and getting real drippy and runny and coming down all through here. Let me go to the next picture real quick. Okay, here is the close-up look of bricks melting off the ceiling. Yes, they are melting off the ceiling like wax. So bricks can melt. If you didn't think they could, they can, and they do, and they will.
Yeah. And they weren't made out of chocolate. So.
Right. Exactly. This was all brick. You can't tell it was all brick at this point, but now that we know what we're looking at, we know that this was all brick. This is in that fort. Let me go back a page. Right here, you can see this is all melted brick, but this part right here, like this bottom part of this wall, you can't even tell that it's brick anymore. Yeah. It's just that. And we see this everywhere you go all around the plane, this type of stuff. Okay, now this part of the star fort still has some of its whitewashing on it. It hasn't melted off all the way. You can see it here, still clinging on to it. So we know that this place was covered with a whitewash. We can also see holes in the wall here where bricks have already come out of their spot and left a
Yes.
vacant spot here. But
Yeah.
again, you can still make out all of the layers of the bricks. Up here, you can see above the archway how cooked out and black the brick has gotten, how it's melted down over each layer of itself, and it almost looks like it's turning into slate at this point.
Yes.
So you have many different heat levels happening in all these different. This room got it the worst. Now check this out, guys. On the left side of the wall here, it actually went vertical and created these heat striations. If we were in a cave or some tunnel, that whatever, they would say that these are pickaxe marks. They are not pickaxe marks. They're heat striations. The brick layers that were going horizontal have now gone vertical. The frequency of heat's coming up through it. You can see the ceiling has completely melted out. It's all completely cooked out. Yet, even in this melted state, you can still make out each line layer of brick all the way through. We were out in the world and this was melted down more. They would say that this was millions of years of sedimentary layers. Look at the wall, how it's running down itself. Even though it's melting, you can still make out the straight brick line layers. Go to the next one. There's another part where it's extreme heat damage. If you look at the ceiling, you can see the bricks have now melted out of their location. Only the mortar lines are left there, and you have a vacant spot. You see these all over inside what they call the volcano Vesuvius, which I have proved is an actual building and not a volcano. Here you can see on this side of the wall, the bricks are actually melting down over themselves, and this has been under extreme heat. Way more than this part right here. Same here. It's got the same kind of heat damage as down here, but in the middle we have this section that's surviving somehow. Or either that, this outer layer may have fallen off, and we're seeing innards because this wall is very thick with brick. Each arch over and wall is like, I don't know how many feet thick of brick. Okay, this is supposed to be the heart of the napalm accident, whatever they say. The floor has completely melted away, which was made of brick, because this whole star fort is made of brick. Again, you could still, even though it's cooked out and melted, you could still make out the layers of the brick all the way through it. How that happens, I don't know, but it does. It happens everywhere. Here you can see the brick actually running down the wall over itself like wax. That's right. And we're talking about well over 6,000 degrees, probably upwards of 10,000 degrees. How long did this thing, their narrative, how long it burnt for, I don't know. But for me, it's part of the X Factor event. And this was probably a very quick event. When it hit these areas, it happened very quickly and then solidified quickly. The reason I think it happened quickly is because of the way the solidification is on these things. They solidified mid-melt. It will stay this way forever. It would be hard to even knock this thing down because everything is melted into itself, and it's even stronger now than just being in its brick form the way it was.
Yes.
The floor is completely cooked out. This was all brick. It's nothing now. It's just, and then you can make out the floor down below it is also brick as well. Here's a closer look. You can see that the brick here has turned into these little tiny bubbled out stones, like embedded in there. It was all brick, all running down the wall on itself here. Even, like I said up top, you could still make out the layers. And we see these lines everywhere up on Mount Shihal. They call them quartz crystal veins, but they're always paralleling each other perfectly, just like this. And the same space, like parallel spaces between them. Okay, so that's that. I'm going to give it back over to Shepu. That was just a quick rundown on melted brick in case anybody missed it before, like 3 channels ago when we covered it.
Yeah, this place is great for showing the melt that bricks can actually melt.
Yep, and they did. They sure did.
Yes. All right. So am I still screen sharing?
Yep. Here we go. All right, you're up.
All right. So, yeah, I think these, again, another section that this arch almost closed up. You can see sometime that these arches closed up. You can see this one filled over and close it itself.
Yeah, it's melting over itself right there. You can see it.
Yeah. Again, another section.
Who's building melted arches, guys? I don't know. It was the style back then.
Yeah.
Clinker bricks.
Yeah, with the clinker bricks.
Can you believe those jackwagons tried to debunk meltology with clinker bricks? Give me a freaking break. It's going to take more than fucking clinker bricks to put down meltology, guys. Meltology is too cool for school.
Yeah. Again, another section goes on and on. This one is really another destroyed one because they destroyed parts of it. This same place. Another section, just melted piece.
You know what we should look at too, real quick? King Aragon's steps.
Yeah.
That whole thing leading up to the steps before you even get to the steps is all melted buildings.
Look at this section here, then.
Oh wow! That little section there got obliterated. Look at it.
Yep.
If somebody can't tell that that's melted, I don't even know what to say to you at this point. I think we've showed enough freaking proof. I don't know how you can't see it.
Yeah, exactly. Even see like it touched this part here.
Yeah, you can see those rocks right there transitioned right into the melt.
Yep.
Wow, Shepu, you got great stuff.
Thank you. But I think I've shown this stuff on the previous show, but it's always good to relook at some pictures.
Oh, look at this! See how the brick was perfectly made. This is what Pompeii was like.
Yeah. Can clearly see these brick as still the red in it, but these ones did not. They were
starting to get that yellowish look.
Yes.
But look at how janky the brick looks in this wall closest to us here. Right there. All that. It's cool how the bird's right there. Is that an owl or a bird? I can't tell. It looks like an owl. It's an owl. Wow.
Yeah, an owl.
That's so cool. Look at this melted mess on the ground.
Yeah, I think they covered something. I don't think it's original.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
But I might be wrong. I don't know, because I know that at some place they covered stuff with cement just to.
Yeah, they did some of that over by Kairos.
Yeah.
They tried to hide all that brick that inside of that mountain was all brick, and they tried to pour that shit over it.
Yeah.
Or spray it up on there or something.
Yeah, they did the same thing here near the
Again, let's just look at the top of the arch of this aqueduct. Above it is all janky, weird rock. Okay, we just showed you the rest of it. It was built perfectly. Okay, do you think this section just happened to get built with all the janky rock laying around on the ground?
Yeah, no, you cannot build a wall like this, you know. They were like masters of balancing rocks, you know, on top of each other.
Yeah, see, if that was melted down and only one piece there, they'd say it's a windbreaker.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so I guess we've looked at enough of it. I don't know what else.
Can you go back to that aerial footage of it running out into the water, like 3 pictures back? It was the aerial view of the aqueduct. Yeah, right there. Look at that, guys. Wow. Wow. Now this beach that they're walking on, guess what that is?
Look at this.
The rest of it's all melted building. All that beach. Parrotfish did not poop out that beach.
Nope. Crazy story.
See the color of the bridge? See the color of the sand? It's all the same. It was all building.
All the same. All right. I don't know what else. Oh, erodium.
Oh
Pictures
yeah,
of erodium before they dug up. Look,
this is before they've dug up that walkway that they say
Yeah.
was for the king.
you see, it's all ill. There's no
They start poking
structures.
around and like, holy crap.
And then look at this. This is what they found. You know, it's
This
all
is good here too. Pause. I mean, just stay right here. This is very volcano looking, guys.
Yeah.
Now, if they wanted to, they could have made this thing. They could have said it was a volcano and even set it off to look like it was a volcano.
Yeah, look. Before and now.
It's crazy.
And
Erodium
now,
is just crazy.
I don't know if they're still digging stuff, and you can see that this one, they didn't dig up like this part here, where the amphitheater is. You can, I think they started just digging up this place.
Wow.
Again, okay, there's no amphitheater.
See, they're still uncovering it here. Here's where they're just poking around. They're like, holy crap, look at this. It's all building.
Yes. Totally a volcano.
So let's just clarify for anybody who's new to the situation here. I'm just going to let y'all know. Mountains are not a geological term.
According to Encyclopedia Britannica, mountains generally are understood to be larger than hills, but the term has no standardized geological meaning.
Boom, baby. It has no standardized geological meaning, the word mountain. It is a description of something.
Yeah, it's just a pile of something.
Yep.
So anything can be a mountain.
Even a melted building.
Exactly. It's just, they just dug up everything. You see, there's nothing. You cannot see. You cannot discern like the building parts anywhere. But
do you need me to hide this banner so you can see your pictures better? Or can I run the banner?
No, you can run the banner. I just took it out for the video of erodium.
I gotcha.
Yeah. This is the inside part, all blocks.
Yeah, I haven't seen any that are fallen trees yet. When I do, I'll let you know. I'm just saying. All the ones that we've covered, and we've covered a lot, have all been buildings. Just saying. Yeah, Johnny, parrotfish.
No, I don't know where they get the tree thing. You know,
stay right there.
They're just repeating something that they heard because they have no proof of any.
I was on the whole giant tree thing one
No,
time.
but I know big trees exist. I can see that they were, but that size, I don't know. Maybe you look at the avatar too much. But
what gets me about this picture is how volcanic it looks.
Yeah.
You know, because we keep talking, you know, we got to cover the volcanoes again, like the Icelandic volcano and stuff when they go down in that. It's all fucking brick, all melted brick. Just like we showed in the pictures of that fort on the walls of the interior of this fucking supposed volcano looks like that fort. Runny red brick.
Yeah. This is the inside.
Oh, I know, Red Storm. I'm just saying, anybody out there who's listening, I get it.
And this is what they tell us that what it looked like. Again with the hill, there's no hill. It's all building.
That's right. This again, Herodium, right? Geologist. Oh yeah, that's just a hill over there. It took millions of years to form. Nothing to see here. Archaeologist comes along. No, it's a building.
Yep. But we can go to many pictures. Again, before they dug up everything. But you can see all around here. This was covered, uncovered, I should say. No, here and here you can see that everywhere they would dig, they would find some remains.
That's right.
All right. So what else?
25 people here.
Okay. what else? Marsaba and Masada we covered, but I want to show the old city of David, where they built the what's the name of the city that they built on top of it? Jerusalem, I think.
Look at these. What is this here on the side? Are these like pillars?
Oh,
What is that? Wow.
yeah, I don't know if they made this, but I think it's probably what was already there.
It looks like Santorini a little bit, how the buildings are piled on top of each other.
Yeah, could have been, but I don't know.
Oh, let's scroll back up to the top. Let's look at these arches up here in this building at the top. Zoom in on that.
Which, this one?
Yeah, this new building up top
Okay.
with all the arches. Now, see, we just showed you a bunch of arches in the sides of what they say are mountains, right? These arches, when this thing melts down, you would have a layer crushing down on this layer, and then the arches get squished a little, but you could see that they were, just arches like this running across the side of what they call a mountain that takes millions of years to form.
Yeah. And these holes, everything. And then you can see some more here. It look like, I don't know. But all of this they have uncovered right in the middle of the city.
Mm-hmm.
It goes down. You can clearly see here transition of this turning into this melt. And they call it the stepstone structure. Again, you can clearly see here some
I can't
redness.
call it a red brick structure.
No, but here you can see inside of this. It's all red brick.
And see, you can see inside of the piece of the janky rock, and you can see that it was red brick.
Yeah. And all over the city, built on top of the old world. You can clearly see it, just like in Turkey or Italy or any other parts.
Yeah, like there in between, you can see the little windows and doors there. Yeah, look all through there. You can see the melted part popping through.
Yeah. This was the old world building, just the remains, and now people just use the.
They refurbish it.
They refurbish
because they were houses to begin with.
Yeah. And also they have built this thing just to hide the melt of the structure they had there. This is inside. You can go below the city. Melt just covered. Again. All under this city.
Johnny's going to bed, I think. Good night, Johnny.
Yeah, I think it won't be long. I think this is
look at that melt right there.
Yeah.
So they built all this other stuff, but here they just started carving. Is that what they're going to tell us?
Yeah, exactly. Look. And they all put all of this without mortar.
Where's all the mortar?
It's all here. It's all melted away.
These steps look kind of melted.
Yeah. Look at this one. It's the pyramid.
Look at that. That looks like Santorini. See how all the buildings are built like on top of them and they terrace up this thing here? We're always talking about the terracing, guys. Even off in the distance, you can see it.
Yeah. And they did like a map of what it looked like right in the middle of the city, just to make sure that you think that this is what it was, but they don't know and we don't know. But all of this hill there that they even made it was all brick buildings.
Yeah, you can see down in that gorge, that little valley running down there. It looks like brick there. Right?
Yeah, but this is just a
I know.
Yeah.
You can still see it though.
Yeah. And again, you can clearly see can spot the brick somewhere and see it right in the middle of the city. Now we live at this level, but look at this.
I mean, where, like I always say, where the hell's ground level? Nobody knows. We're living on top of the melt, guys.
Yeah. Look at how big they did this just to hide. But what you were talking about, Jen, it's the melt that was under this stuff. It's all red bricks and stuff.
Yeah, well, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, so that's what I'm saying. That part's not real, but this lower part is.
Yes,
and
yes,
see
yes. Yes. Just an aerial shot. What else do I got? I think we've look out.
That dome was probably covered in gold.
Yes. All right. What is? Oh, this is the place that we just saw in the video with these melted pillars.
Yeah, nothing to see here, just some melted pillars sitting there.
Yeah, melted sideway.
That looks like that walkway that had the water running through it under Jerusalem.
Yeah, maybe that's what it is.
Whatever it is, it's melted those stones.
Yeah. Okay, that's the old city. We could look at Masada really quick.
Yes, let's look at Masada. This place is insane. I love this.
All of this just melted down. Tree stump. Look at this melt there.
This melted wall is crazy.
Yeah, but I think this again, they covered it with some kind of a cement plaster just to hide what's behind underneath it.
Most likely Shepu. Yeah, because there's only so many things that they can answer for, you know? Yeah. And then it's just like, okay, well, what about this? And they're like, we don't got nothing for that, so we're just going to cover it.
That's very true.
Let's look at Mike Brady's eyes again. I think they're getting redder. Hold on. Pay attention to the whites of his eyes. I think he's been smoking weed.
That's very true.
Yeah, red his eyes are. Get that guy some Visine.
Yeah. Yeah, like all fused together.
Maybe he was having onions.
Motherfucker.
Again, this is the side of Masada.
You can
Just
see the
brick.
apertures.
Yeah. You can see here like some kind of arch remain. Some rock covered, a rock curtain here. From the top, also here. This is the view from Masada to the other side. It's all buildings.
I don't know if she's watching it or not.
Yeah, just melted away. Look at this. All of these just melted away toward the Dead Sea, creating like the saltiest sea ever, but it's all building ash from the melt that made this sea so salty.
Agreed, Shepu. I definitely think it's the building ash that's causing all the salt water.
Yeah.
The Dead Sea, all that stuff.
Yes.
Wow.
And just
Look at that.
that's all
Wow.
melt. But if you
That
can
is, that's X Factor right there, guys. That's what you're looking at, the X Factor.
look at the structure, here, there, this.
Yeah, you can see the building everywhere. And then you
Yeah.
can also see like the flow of the melt.
Can clearly see some here, some here. the rest, it's all muffed up, so too mangled to see anything.
Right, like the part of that wall in the fort where it was melting over itself.
Yeah.
But you could still make out in certain locations throughout that melt, like the parallel running brick layers that they call sedimentary layers, that also down here in the front get wavy and go sideways, and then the jackwagon geologists call that cross bedding.
Yes. What's remain. I showed the same thing in Hawaii. Just a pile of rocks remaining there. There, you can clearly see pocket of survival here.
Look at those. There's like a little archways and doorways and stuff. Yep. Yeah. Looks like a whole, and you can follow that all the way around.
Yes.
If you look at Vesuvius, if you get the right pictures, you can see what looks like apertures, walkways, doorways, and like massive corridors and stuff.
Yep. All this just like the Grand Canyon. Same thing.
Oh, look at that. Just look at it. Boom, baby.
Just melted away.
You could see that this was a building. You could see the apertures in the structure. You could see that the building was melting down over itself like ice cream. It's undeniable at this point, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Especially if you've been with us this whole time. You know what you're looking at. If not, well...
You can't handle the truth!
Exactly. Yeah. All these layers.
There's millions of years of brick layers, sedimentary brick layers.
Yes. This is the side of this Masada thing. Just a huge tower, Babel-like building. Going inside it. I've got like thousands of pictures of this place. Look.
Now, see, some people have said that this was a tree stump.
Yeah.
But everywhere you look in this place, it's structure, guys.
Yeah, but I've never seen a tree like this shape, you know?
Yeah. I don't think Devil's Tower is a tree stump, in my opinion. It's definitely some type of crazy structure.
Yeah, I already explained my views on the big trees. I know that big trees exist, but giant, like they are saying, I don't think there is, because we all know that trees soak up like really a big amount of water, and they need a really big amount of water to be sustained, and it doesn't make sense to me. Look at this is a view of Masada from afar.
Wonder how they got all that stuff up there to build up on top of that thing. Must have been all those mules.
Yeah, exactly. They're breeding mules everywhere.
Look at that. Look at how melted that is right there.
Yeah.
Wow.
But here they can say that it was melted because it's near Sodom and Gomorrah. So.
Well, we know that place is melted as fuck.
Yeah.
So what happened to those people with God's judgment? Go back a picture. I'm sorry. This side that you're showing here, you can see, guys, you can see where it looks like regular dirt piled up with janky rock, and then all of a sudden it goes into structure again, and then you could this whole thing, every level. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 levels just right here.
Yeah.
Wow. But yeah, there's a lot of steps throughout this whole thing.
Yes. I wanted to say something.
Down here on the ground in front of us, way out, all that. Look at all of that, guys.
Yes.
That could have been the rest of whatever this is that we're looking at flowed out down over there.
Yep.
And what's down under all that stuff? What could this flow have covered that didn't get melted or hit? You know?
Yeah.
Like those guys in India, you said they just walked up and they saw that thing, they started digging, it kept going down, down, down on the ground.
Yeah, exactly.
Look at that. So you can see where the perfect rock turns into this janky rock right next to it. Brick. So when it looks muffed up like this, they say it's older because it's that muffed up, and that's what they have to say. Because how could they explain something from 200 years ago looking this muffed up? They would have to say it's ancient.
Yeah, just one. Red Storm said the tree petrified. You know what it takes to petrify it. You need something with no moisture in the air, no moisture everywhere. It needs to get covered by a thick mud with no air, so all the cement, the sediments get into the tree and change it into a rock. But the outside, the big ones, it cannot be. I'm sorry to break your bubble, but the condition that it takes to it, the earth would have been like flooded all over, like so much, and nothing survived this thing for a big long time, and then just people just came back. So if you don't believe in,
where did all the trees go? Where did all the limbs to these trees go? Where did the rest of the trees go if they cut down these trees and they're perfectly cutting all this stuff? And I think that there was giant trees to a certain extent, like Shepu said, but not on the scale of what they're trying to say that these mountains are.
No,
but that's my opinion.
Yeah.
And with everything that we've covered, we always show structure. I've not come across one thing yet that has stumped me on it. You know what I mean? If you will.
No. And also I've seen the video that people just, one guy just saying everything is a tree, everything, like every rock is a part of a tree. Yeah, it kind of looks like, I can show you like pillars that looks like tree stumps, but they're not. They're actually buildings and made with bricks. But you can think whatever you want. I'm not here to prove anything to you. I'm just here.
I think
to
that there
show
was
you
bigger people, bigger buildings, bigger vegetation, bigger trees, bigger animals. It was a whole different vibe, a whole different scene. And, but I don't think the trees probably were as big. And, Shepu, that thing you did about the petrified forest was in Arizona, I believe.
Yeah.
Where you showed that they look like the Roman columns.
Yes.
And they're not cut perfectly, like these tree limbs that are supposedly petrified have, perfectly cut in sections. Well, This is exactly how the Roman columns were built. They were put together in sections.
Yeah. Yeah. Also, the people just saying the trees, they don't think really, because you need a lot of condition to turn something into a petrified, what they call petrified tree, because also it's not wood. It's not wood anymore. What they explain, what they petrified, it's like all the minerals get into the cracks and change the wood into, takes the place of the wood, but now it's now rock. It was a tree, but now it's now rock. But what they say to us.
Wow. This picture you have up here, Shepu, and I'm listening to you, but it's just blowing my mind. This is a really good picture. This whole thing was a building. You could see all the apertures running across every floor on this thing coming down here.
Yeah.
This was massive. And it goes way down under this melt here that's running over itself. Then you got this right here in front of us here where it looks like cross bedding happening here. Just put your cursor down a little bit. Right here on this pathway going up. Yeah, right there.
Yeah.
But all this over top of it has melted down and come off of it.
Yeah. All of this, where this, some people would call it the mud flood. Where, yeah, but all of this came from where? From the sky, and mud from the sky. Maybe the sky is made of mud, Jen.
Yep. So again, you can see what is windows, doors, and all these different levels here. They're not going to go up here, scale down the side of this thing, and start carving out weird melted-looking aperture openings. For what?
Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
It's just melted.
Also, the thing with these petrified trees in the Arizona, they're all laying all around on top of the ground. Not buried, not underground, not just right there on the air, open air. It doesn't make sense to me. What probably could have turned this to, it's another thing, because all this area, they did a lot of these high explosive tests back in the day. So I don't know. Yeah. But anyway, it's another topic.
I'm not sure what you're saying here. If you think, the flood or rain or whatever, I don't know. It would have. I feel like I'm not sure exactly what you're saying here. Let's just say that first off. But some people have a theory that water did all this. Like, I guess it would have to be extremely hot water because that shit's melted, okay? And I've never seen water melt anything like that. And then that would take a long time to happen as well, maybe longer than I think that this event actually took. I think this event was instantaneous.
Yeah. No, you say is that again, you just repeat something that he doesn't think, because what it's not the water, it's the mineral in the water, but we just explained where the minerals in the water come from. It's all come from the melted buildings, because this is the mineral, the small particles of minerals just clinging together over time, and it's called lithification. And it's again with the geology, millions of years and millions. You need to separate yourself from all the things that you've learned and that they told you, and think another way. That's the only way you can clearly see the big picture of all of this.
Exactly. And it is a big picture. Guys, we've shown that the coastlines were buildings, okay? Like we showed Salerno, Italy. The whole coastline of Italy was building, and we can show it. We proved it. Wow, look at that. Just
Look at this one. Just nowhere. Just
Right?
build a door.
Yeah.
With no passageway.
No problem. We do it all day long here.
Yeah, like you said, Jen, you clearly see all the levels of the floors.
Yep.
But anyway, we can
And
get...
Pants On, I heard you say, I saw you spread earlier that you're open to anything, and that's great because your mind should be open. And my mind is open as well. And I feel like, we've proved over again, at least here on my channel and Shepu's channel and Ceiling Fan Man's channel, that what we present is definitely structure that has been affected by some type of extreme heat damage.
Yeah. That the most important thing is that at least you don't believe what they tell you,
Yeah,
like,
we can agree that this is not a natural formation that took millions of years, like jackwagon geologists would have you believe. Whether you think it's a tree stump, this or something else, or I think it's a building, either way, we know that the narrative is bullshit. So there's that, and that's what's important. But what's also important is that we recognize that there was this extreme heat event. What could have caused it? And how long ago did it happen? And how many times did it happen? And why would it even happen?
Yeah, because this, if you say that this is a tree, but this is a tree also, and all of this is a tree also. So this is a one big tree. That's why it doesn't make sense to me. Because it's the same thing. This is the same thing as this one behind, and this and this. So all of this was a big tree. There's something missing with that story, and I don't know where it came from. But probably they talk about it in the Bible. I don't know. But I know that Avatar had just pushed this thing of big trees. Since then, just people just talk about these big trees.
He says, I ain't no mud fossil tree stumper. I'm a meltologist.
Yeah.
That's right, you're a meltologist.
Yeah, also these mud fossils, body limbs and stuff, again, just another. Because everything that is organic just rots away. And for me, the condition that it takes to turn something into stone, it's almost impossible. So that's why I don't follow this, because it's
okay, I see what you're saying here. I agree with that. To a certain extent, I think a lot of the water is still coming out of these buildings. As you see a lot of water coming out of mountaintops in Hawaii and all over the place. up here at Mount Shiha near me. I've proved that it's a melted building. At the very top of it, we tracked the water back to a little spring coming out of the very top of the mountain, which is a melted building. And that water is crisp and clean. I've actually drank out of that water coming right out of the mountain building. Put my hand up and just drank some water. It was great. Buildings like our buildings today have water in them. They have water systems and stuff. And when these buildings melt down, sometimes the water's still running and has to escape somewhere. That's why a lot of these supposed caves are flooded with fresh water.
Yeah, that's my the theory that I was telling you, that all these big cities have these giant water towers to what is it called? Just to
Pressure?
no, but to furnish all the city with the fresh water.
Oh,
But
yeah.
yeah, the pressure it's involving, because we still use it today. These water towers to.
You know, we covered water towers, or at least I did a couple of, I don't know how many channels ago. I was looking at the old world water towers, man, and there are some really cool looking towers.
Yeah. And in French, they call it water castles. They don't call it water towers.
They call it what?
Water castles.
Oh, yeah. There was one that looked like a castle that I had looked at. It
Yep.
had like a dragon on the front of it and everything. And it had like
Yeah. This one.
parapets and conical roofs and stuff. It was a fucking
Exactly.
water tower. They look like little mini castles and stuff.
Yeah. So now we're in Marsaba. You know, the canyon with the monastery, but more than one. But
Uh-huh.
look at this. These remains. These were
Oh, yeah.
all, again, building bricks everywhere.
Absolutely amazing.
You know,
Again, the
this-
more muffed up it is, the more older they say it is, guys.
Yeah.
Wow,
But
look at that.
yeah. In meltology, the more muffed up it is, the bigger the building it was.
That's right. Look at this.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, this canyon is it's amazing. We've shown this one to CFM.
This
and-
one reminds me of the picture of Metropolis from the movie and from the 20s, Metropolis, where it shows
Yes.
like building on top of building on top of building, and this weird kind of modern kind of looking thing here.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, this is the bottom part of it. Some parts have been refurbished,
Yeah, tourism.
but look what's going on. This
Wow.
yeah, look, Jen,
Oh, the
you
garage.
were talking about your parking garage.
Put your car in right here. Come into our melted apartment complex here.
Yeah. Again, can clearly
You're on the third squished floor,
yeah.
the third melted floor.
So this is all over this canyon. You can
Wow.
see that they have refurbished some parts of it, put doors to it, but look at all of this one.
Yeah, and look at all below it too. See, there's just arches down here and stuff.
Can you see here a pillar just engulfed in the melt?
Swimming in melt.
But they can see here, like just on the hill, just remains of walls. Below, here, there.
Yeah, what's that doing there?
Yeah.
It's just
The
popping
whole-
out, red brick.
The entire hill is
This is
built.
what I'm talking about, guys. Go back to that picture. Doesn't matter where you are. You just be walking along here, think you're just walking on some millions of years of sedimentary layers, hiking along, and then oops, a brick wall.
Yes.
All this rock you see was brick, guys. You can see that it was brick because over here it's brick. Here it's janky because it's more heat damaged.
this is talking about melted GCAP and of cinnabar. Cinnabar, this is where all the mercury we get comes from. That type of rock.
Uh-huh.
And saying that it's all brick, it could probably be also, but it was part of a building that probably had the most energetic.
Yeah, where's that doorway go?
Yeah, exactly.
Wow. It's so amazing.
Yeah, this canyon, it's crazy. Like all of this,
Wow.
we see.
Look at the doorways and windows and stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, they're gonna say this little river carved all this out and these windows and doors and all this stuff.
Yeah, because this is what they tell us, that this river went so high at one point that it carved this all out, but that's, I don't know how it would carve
Build
this
a wall there too.
and leave jagged edges, because if the water would be all
Because you
smooth.
can see all the way up here. Every level is a wall. You can see it.
Yes.
Part of the building.
Yes.
Wow.
And in my video of erosion is not what they tell you, I explain how come that these jagged edges still there when the water was running all over. It should be all smooth and
look,
rounded,
It's just leaving these arches, phantom arches here and windows and stuff.
Yeah.
Wow.
See, everywhere.
Even when I look at this, when you pull back out and you look at the scale of it, and then you zoom in and you see, you're like, okay, yeah, maybe it's, it just could this really be all building? And you zoom in, arches, windows,
look
doors.
at this. Yeah, look at this. You see this part here, even this part here.
Wow.
It's everywhere.
It's undeniable.
And these type of thing, we see it in all the canyons, either Arizona, Utah, Nevada, Colorado, everywhere. And the next one we have two is what, Idaho? No, Idaho.
Yeah.
I think there's a canyon there also, and I've seen the pictures. Crazy, it's all melted.
Yeah, Idaho. I was saying Illinois, I think. We're gonna probably get out of here right around the 4-hour mark. We're at 3:52 right now.
Yeah, I'm on the last picture set here.
All right,
just running through.
We haven't gone 4 hours in a while. I mean, it's been a minute.
It's been a while. But this place, Marsaba, is just crazy. I only show like the canyon, but there's also like the monastery.
Oh yeah. Oh, I remember that monastery.
And look at this wavy brick line, and you go, oh, what's going on here? There's a house there. Just like this.
Let's see here.
Yeah.
Go back to where it's wavy again. Right there, and look below the waviness. So you can see the brick lines down there even too.
Yeah.
Wow. It's incredible.
Yeah. This is a nice view of another section. You can clearly see past remains down there. But this section here is pretty interesting.
Wow. I guess it just rained really hard right in this one section.
Yeah, in a place that hardly gets rain, so.
Right? Oh, they know exactly what all this is. Look at this. Look across at your neighbors over here and all these windows and stuff.
Yeah. They're looking at it every day. But
you can't deny it. You just can't. You have the eyes to see it. You can't deny it. Look at the arches across the way there. Up top. Yeah. Look at that. Wow. Rectangular things there. Yep. It's a building all day long, every day of the week. Interconnected buildings. Where's ground level? You never had to go down the ground level. Everything you needed was on every floor.
Yeah.
They probably grew their vegetation and lived within all these buildings.
Yeah, probably water flowing everywhere and fresh water. You can just go there and
You know, like the hanging gardens.
yes, yeah. This place, and you can clearly see that there were strict structures way higher down there that just melted and covered all of this. You know, that's how it got covered.
Yeah, imagine if you start digging down there, like back behind the city and stuff, you would probably go down and hit some structure.
Yeah.
Covered by the melt.
But now it's all fused one piece. That's why they call it like a mountain.
Go back a picture. Go back one picture. Okay, because they look like where this road zigzagging up and curves around, all that looks like really melted up there.
Yeah, all of this. Yes, exactly.
Yeah. It's crazy looking.
So we can go this. I've got this is a big folder. I've got like hundreds and hundreds. How many I got in this one?
You got
2.
5 minutes.
All right. But I think I'm gonna hand it
Okay.
here. This is another section. But anyway.
Well, that was a lot of fun, Shepu.
Yes.
Got the best folders as you.
Thanks.
Oh.
Got so many pictures. It's crazy. I found like this week crazy places, but you know I cannot post like everything in a day, so I just stack up pictures and pictures and pictures. It's crazy.
Yeah, you got millions of folders. I know I haven't seen all of them yet, but we'll get there.
Yeah, even me, I didn't see all of them. You know, sometimes I just download a lot of pictures of places, put them in a folder, and just put them there until we do a show on it. So.
All right, there's something I wanted to show here real quick before we get out of here. Let me see if I can find it. Where was it? Shepu. Okay, yeah, here it is. Let me get that up. All right, I'm going to screen share real quick. Where the hell's my StreamYard? I'm lost in all my tabs I have open. Okay, so John Levy just did a video recently, and he showed this picture on his presentation because he was talking about melted structures. Because he gets it. He knows they're melted buildings.
Yeah.
And let's see here. Okay, can you see this?
Yes.
So he was showing candle wax melting here. You could see how it melts down away from the structure of the candle.
Yeah.
And comes down along here and runs down. And also you can see the same thing with these buildings that they tell us are sedimentary layers and took millions of years to form. Again, this lower picture right here, you can definitely see the brick lines, the parallel running brick lines here. Again, it's very reminiscent of this ziggurat here, right here, the lines that they say are sedimentary layers, but clearly this is a building, just like wherever I just was here. Let me close that out. Get back to my Facebook. Where did it go? I don't know. I think I lost it. All right. So, anyway, whatever. I closed something out. Anyway, guys, we're going to get out of here. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. If you have not clicked the notification bell to get notified, please make sure you do that. A lot of people get unsubbed and unnotified somehow. I don't know how that happens. If you'd like to support Shepu's channel, his PayPal link is in the description below. You have to copy and paste the link because I can't use advanced settings, put links in unless it's YouTube links. Make sure you're subbed and bell to Shepu's channel as well. We do live streams over there. He's got a lot of great videos, and all of our old live streams are over there as well. And thank you again, Shepu. I think we knocked this one out of the park. Israel is melted as fuck.